Your family wants you to go with something that's conservative, right? And they're doing that because they're afraid that you're gonna fail. And that's very rational. If you look at me and Julien, say teaching, what we teach, right? Self-development, this is no joke, right? Like when we're saying that we just work for 7 days straight, and now we get to our own damn party, and we're sitting here even recording at our own party, still working, that's the seriousness that you have to take it with, right? With me and Nick would have gone into investment banking, I would have gone into law, or being a college professor. So I take this with the same seriousness as that. Now, if you're willing to take that same kind of hustle, then it's okay to do the risky thing that you love. But I get scared because I think a lot of people enjoy the idea of dropping out, like just like quit and drop out and it's all good. But they're not necessarily willing to put in the hustle, right? Like the whole thing with like, I'm gonna drop out of college and quit and I'm gonna say fuck it all and I'm gonna follow my passion. That seems like the hard part. No, that's the beginning of the hard part.
Don't just make the leap and then give up. It's like your family, fucking society, like they want you to go the conservative route. It's like just do what's safe and keeps you in the middle. If you want to go for something that really turns you on, something where, again, it feels effortless, you love it, and you could just spend like literally days without sleep doing it, you're gonna have to take a different route. And with that route there, you either succeed and you go up here, or you are fucked. There is no more in between. It's like if you fail, like if you just make the jump and you don't have like that commitment where you're like, I'm going till the bitter fucking end, you're done.
So that being the case, ask yourself, what are you passionate about? What are you willing to put into it? And then from there, here's I think the next step. What are you willing to cut out? I'm willing to cut out most of the things that most people believe is the entire point of doing all this.
If you look at this party and you're probably thinking like, holy shit, like from an outsider's perspective, if I saw this, I'd be like, oh my fucking God. Like back in the day, I died to be here. Yeah, what are we doing? Recording.
That's not the ideal, by the way. That was just because my roommate wanted to set this up during the last day coming back from Summit, so we obviously had to accommodate that day. But the point is, we'll still be here shooting, right?
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
But like nothing comes for free. It's like, how bad do you want it? And in terms of your commitment, it should be everything. Like time, energy, your ego. Are you willing to go through like humiliation? Are you willing to go through just times of just like endless hustle where no one knows about all this hustle? You don't get the validation for it. You're just in your apartment, house,
private victories before public victories, as Stephen Covey would say.
Exactly. Are you willing to sacrifice that? Are you willing to go through massive amounts of failure? You have to make this pact with yourself like beforehand. It's like sit down, like how bad do you want it? What are you willing to give in return? But also realizing like the payoff is worth it.
I don't have a lot of thoughts not related to work. I don't have a lot of actions that aren't related to work. When I take time off, that's to become refreshed to work, right? So it's like me and the work are one and the same. Now I also understand that on an identity level that, it's just a job, but if I'm gonna make the commitment to do it, you've gotta understand that even just logically, if I was to make the commitment to do this and not take it seriously like this, then what would happen? Probably I'd fail. I'd wind up with no retirement, probably no ability to pay for my kids. I mean, shit just gets fucked. I watch a lot of guys that try to like pursue their dreams and it's shit. I mean, it's kind of funny to me that not a lot of people talk about the consequences of fuck it all, chase your dreams, right? Like what would happen if you fail? Most people that do it even do fail. And yet you rarely do even see people saying, oh, like, this could happen or that could happen or things like that. I mean, it's kind of like, so you've got to think about it clearly. So what we try to talk about here, again, the idea of what you're willing to commit, how you're willing to change your brain's neurology, your brain circuitry to be able to put the time in, what you're willing to give up. Like we said, Cal Newport with deep work. I think that's a very, very powerful concept. Are you willing to put in deep work into this? And then from there, what you wind up with is, like you said, doing work that doesn't really feel like work. It's easy for me to work when this is just my essence at this point.
Literally.
And I'm willing to walk away from it. When I'm done, I'm done. And then when I disengage, I'll fully disengage, and I'll be doing something else. And that's just how it is. And tonight we will take time off and we will have fun. But again, why am I doing that? I'm doing that so I can come back 100 times more powerful, for what I do. My biggest payoff is the teaching itself. You know what I'm saying, right? Like running the company, it doesn't even make sense for me to teach. I should be focusing on the back end. But that is why I did it. When I'm up there on stage,
so you're alive.
Crushing it, that's what I'm alive. It's like the movie Avatar, right? You're like the fullest guy when you're up there just fucking crushing it.
Think of those people who just love extreme sports. Like I have some friends, like they love jumping off like these dangerous cliffs and shit. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, like this is too risky. And for me to do that, again, I need massive willpower, a lot of effort. For them, it's effortless. Although they're doing these crazy things, like that's what makes them fucking alive. Is there a risk? Yeah, but like that's what turns them on. And for you, it's what turns you on. Like when are you the most alive? Follow your emotions there, and you should reach that point in terms of commitment where even though it could fail, like that's how I felt moving to Los Angeles, like even though it could fail, I don't have a choice. Like it's not about like even succeeding or failing. It's like, well, are you going to spend your life alive or dead?
It's really about actually going beyond the distinction between you like it or you don't. That's really what it is. It's like, it's not whether you like it or you don't. It's what you are, okay? And again, going a little bit against the Eastern philosophy that you are the witness in consciousness, you are more. But much like they teach you if you read Eastern philosophy in the Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna is in that war, he is that. You engage with it, you associate with it, just like we're associated right now. And when you're done, you're done. You're alive, you're put here on this earth, you're put here to engage. That's where the growth is. That's where presence comes from. I'm not sitting in a cave. Okay, because you're here. You're here to do good work, okay? So we thought we'd wrap up with, you go beyond it. And then going beyond it, your work ethic and visionary sets of ideas, creativity, and what you can accomplish is unmatched, or at least only matched by other people, won't take it that level.